Can't hear you.
And we're live! I hope you can hear me.
Now we can hear you.
Well, the important thing, the short thumbnail description, the executive video producer of ShaLaLaLa Productions, where we specialize in marketing videos and providing live streaming service to the focus of the educational and the medical field, as well as especially in pop culture. And I'm here with
Matt Haas. I have YouTube channels and I help people be more successful on the YouTubes.
I'm just making sure your levels are on.
See, I knew it. When I talk in short sentences, I throw Robert off.
So, all right. So, glad to be back. And yeah, I mean, before we dive into it, what's shaking with you, Matt?
Oh, trying to keep all my websites up and running, playing around with my new podcast, working out all the cool tech features of that. It's finally on Google Play, kind of almost perfect now, because my RSS feed was not playing nice with that one particular service. It's everywhere else.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some big things in 2021. I'm gonna launch more of a consulting package.
Yeah,
that's easy for people to use. No details yet, but I'll be sharing that soon.
Okay.
You know, I'm keeping busy. How about yourself? What have you been up to?
Well, new year, just a matter of just try to continue the momentum of with the live streaming efforts. Last year, I guess you could say some of it's a learning curve, and some of it is just a matter of just keeping up with the Joneses of offering a live stream service to clients. So I think now that we got most things lined up with resources, personnel, stuff like that, just really looking forward to really, I was gonna say set the world on fire, but I'm not sure if that'd be the right way to describe it. But just just really make an impact and to be able to help out with others in their live streaming endeavors. Or the short answer is motoring along.
You're definitely set up for success, my friend. No doubt about it.
I mean, I'm just fortunate to be surrounded with folks that that are helpful, like helping me out, like yourself and others in the endeavors, and just looking forward to help others too with what they're trying to do. Oh yeah. Oh wait, what did I do with it? Oh. All right. Well, so I mean, so that's the gist of it. But I'm trying to be better about not beating around the bush. So how about we just dive right into the topic?
Let's do it.
Okay. So for those BTS, in this instance, we're talking about behind the scenes, and it's just a matter of just sharing what we do whenever we go into a show as the prep work or the work that goes into creating a live streaming program. So I thought it'd be fun for Matt and I to share on stuff like the work we do, whether it's this show or on other endeavors before we go live streaming as to what we do. So I thought, let me kick it over to Matt just to show us some of the things that he does for his shows, as well as what we do here too.
Yeah, no problem. So I will share my screen.
All right.
And let me push the button. Where is the button? There is the button. Boom,
Going
boom,
Matt Cam.
Boom. Okay. So here is my document for what I'm going to talk about on my shows. I always kind of carry this little piece here. Let me show you what that is. This is just my top of the show script. where I'll go through some of that. These are older shows, but you can see I just have bullet points to talk about. And my show deals with what's new and different on YouTube. So here there was a lot of things new on the platform that I went over with the show, and it just goes on and on. I keep track of the episode numbers now too. Now these shows look a little sparse, but I had, fully built out topics to talk about. So these are my show notes, and I always print off page 1 of this document because I've done 123 shows, and it's a very long, it's 45 pages of show notes there. And that is, it's down and dirty, but it doesn't need to be sophisticated. It needs to be simple for me to read. I go through my top of the show routine, and I have my Stream Deck, and that helps me navigate my show. I go into the donation parts, and here's all of my goodness for that. Images, sometimes I'll pop up my Facebook information and some lower thirds and things like that. Yeah, so it's a good flow. That's the show prep. I think we're going to talk about marketing too, right?
Oh yeah, it's like once you nail down the preparation and the topic for the program, then it's just a matter of just being able to get the word out in terms of just letting others know of the show that's going on and yeah. So to answer your question, yes.
Before I leave the show prep for my segment, it's not that hard. I will, not surprisingly, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Did you know that, Robert?
You do? Say it ain't so.
Throughout the week, this is what I'm getting at. Throughout the week, I'll find little bits of news that I want to talk about, and I'll just call up this Google Doc. It's in Google Docs, and just dump in the little snippet, and I'll just collect that, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then when Monday comes around for my show, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern on All Things YouTube, I'll have it ready to go. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. It's
sometimes I'll be, sorry.
That's right.
Last thing. I'll be working on a piece of software, or I'll try something new, and I'm like, ooh, that could be a featured segment. So this last week, I did a featured segment on how to use a mobile app that creates brilliant marketing with your own branding and colors and fonts and things like that. So I shared that. So it's kind of organic as it builds throughout the week, and then I've got my cheat sheet, and I'm ready to rock. Now that's for live streams. The edited videos, it's a little bit different. I still have bullet points of what I want to hit, and I'll film myself, and I'll grab the footage, and then it goes into the video editor, and I'll start throwing in graphics and embellishing the video, because you can do a lot more with edited video than you can with live streams. Now, don't get me wrong, vMix and Ecamm can really make your live streams jump. But edited video, it can be a lot tighter. I don't know how to describe it. When you're live, you get one take. I guess is what I'm saying. You get one take to do stuff, and then you're stuck with the footage. When you're doing a video editor, you can bring in the overlays, have things slide down. You can time it perfectly. When you're speaking, the words can come up. If you do a 5-sentence word, it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, it's just a little nicer, polished type thing, rather than just one lower third coming up with a whole sentence. You know what I'm saying? So that's, edited videos aren't much different. Bulleted points, grab the footage, put it in the video editor, and then I'll add the B-roll and overlays and sound effects and things like that.
Yeah, it's like having like, I always like look at it as like having where when when a person like first starts writing a book, sometimes they'll hire like an editor to help copyright or just trim it down and just a matter just like you say tighten up and kind of like what it is like with an edited video where you're taking a live stream and you're just molding it to the type of message you want to get to the point so that way it's and you can add in the graphics and overlays and what have you. So
It could start with a live stream, or it could start with you just recording yourself. I do a lot of just recording myself.
right.
I'm a fan of the edited videos. I mean, I know people like live streaming is so easy. It's faster. It's easy. It's easy, easy, easy. But, you know, think of the replay. The replay, if you're putting something out as a live stream that's mostly for replay value, you might want to think about doing an edited video. I'm just saying. Because it can be faster, tighter. You deliver the information. People can get in and get out. You don't have to make them, you know, stay along with you while you're delivering live. Anyway.
Right.
That's prep.
Okay. Yep. I mean, for me, like the one thing I would add with the prep is that the one thing I love about it is just the whole idea of having like show flow notes. So I know you can't see this, but it's just the idea of just having like a bullet outline of just getting a rough idea of where segments are going, or just like time it as to when you're gonna talk about topics. Like so, like for example, like before we went on air, Matt and I had a chance to hash out as to what we want to talk about and kind of like work out the logistics. Like, okay, Matt, we'll have you talk about the XYZ, and I'll jump in, and then depending on the topic as to whether it would just branch out to like a subtopic, or just or even like a different point, and then taking that topic itself, it's a matter of just looking at the format in the show flow notes as to where that would fall in, and that's just identifying like before we start the show, you'd see like the titles, the title graphics, and the brief intro, and then smoosh in the topic, and just kind of like flesh it out. So the one thing is just that in doing that is to maintain the that you're seeing it live now type approach where we try not to take away from the some of the spontaneity in the discussion we have, but also just have a rough idea as to like what's coming up as to what we talk about.
And, you know, a lot of that can get refined the more you do it. The more you do it, the more you'll know what makes sense to do first, to do second, how long to stay on a particular segment. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Exactly. But I gonna take a guess, and I'm just trying to look at the comments here if there's any questions. But I think the real fun of it is like either before a show goes on, promoting it, or even after the show as the ways the market. So I will.
Oh, we're switching to marketing. Cool. Hey, Portal Woodworks is here. That's my friend David Jones. How are you, buddy?
Howdy.
We're talking about behind the scenes stuff for making videos and live streaming, and now we're going to talk about marketing.
So before
let's
I
hear
start,
it, Robert. Let's start with you. What's your marketing routine?
Well, what I love to do is, okay, so there's two parts of it. One is like how I market the show before we go on air, and then after we go on air. So what I like to do is like after we talk about like what we're going to talk about of the show, I like to take like snippets of like the bullet points of what we're going to cover, and try to use that into the description. I love how like of the advice of just like keeping it simple. Just because like if you start describing too much into the show, you kind of lose them in the weeds in the description. So it's a matter of just trying to boil it down in a simple sentence to say like what the show is about, and then taking that. What I like to do, I know like not many people do this, is I like to like go live and do like a teaser video just to kind of tease it up as to like what we're talking about. Just because I thought it'd be kind of like a fun way to do it and just help like the words jump off the page by just seeing the presenter or the co-host of the show saying like what's coming up, and then just taking that video and just kind of bombarding it, whether it's LinkedIn, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and just posting up there and then just circulating it so that way they know that the word's out there. So And that's before the show goes on. And then afterwards, then okay, there's not many people that are going to be able to see it live. So then the joy is being able to share that, uh, as to say, hey, if you missed it, you can catch it on the replay, and then just be able to go into the channels like LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. There's probably one other I can't think of, a Twitter, and just kind of like let them know, like, hey, if you missed it live, you can still watch it. It's a replay. It may not be the same as watching live, but they can still see it. So those are the kind of the fun things I like to do, just to get the word out before and after.
Okay. So it's teaser video before, and then what's the content type for after? Oh, and Portal Woodwork says, I never read descriptions in videos. It has to get my attention in the first couple of minutes or so. I hear you, brother. Bye-bye. Okay, my question to you was, the post-show stuff, what video format is it? Is it a video? Is it a live video? Is it what is it usually?
Most cases, it's just having the video itself of the show.
Oh, okay.
Right, because
so like posting links to the show with commentary.
Right, exactly. Just that way it gets out there faster. Now, I mean, some folks I know like to be able to do like a post video describing it, but I think just because like I'm in that groove, like where we just finished the show, and just kind of like at least be able to put it up there to describe as to what the program is about. Just keep
you put it on your website too, don't you? Mm-hmm. Don't sell yourself short.
Yep. So that's the other thing. Thank you for reminding me of that, man. So the other thing is that on the website I have a page dedicated of Verbose Wednesdays, so that, and I gather all the videos that we've done and put on the page there. So that way, it's very hard to kind of fish out like the links that you'd see like on the social media posts. So it's always good to have it in one central area. So that way, if you don't have the link, you can say, hey, go on the ShaLaLaLa Productions website where we have a page dedicated to Verbose Wednesday, and you can watch it there. So the key thing is the more easier it is that you make others to find the videos, the better than to try to like say like, oh, go to January 15th post where we like say when we went live, you can watch it there, because then they'll be like, what? Or more like,
okay, anything else?
Well, I want to hear what you do.
I'm kind of afraid to say what I do, because it's substantially more than what you do. The gist of it will be, the gist of my message to everyone is up your marketing game. All right, so here's what happens. Before a video, if it's an edited video, nothing before. I don't do any pre-promotion except Patreon. I'll post things I'm working on Patreon. So that's my this is edited videos. Live shows, I put the link several places. I put it on my Facebook group. I put it on 3 other Facebook groups, and there's like a Facebook Messenger thing for dropping links. There's 20 people in there that want to know what people are doing, and they invited me to that. So a few places on Facebook, I'll post it before the live show. Okay. After the live show, I'm done. No promotion after the live show. Promotion after edited videos? Okay. Do you have your harness on? Are you buckled up? So here we go. For an edited video, I'll post to my Facebook page if it's Awesome Wood Things, because I have a page. I'll post to a group if it's all things YouTube, because that's just the way I do it. And I will do an email blast. I'll create an email message with my new video in it. And I have a separate email list for all things YouTube. And I have a separate email list for Awesome Wood Things. And I will take the thumbnail and put it on Twitter, and then put the link to YouTube on the tweet. And the 16:9 is a good aspect ratio for Twitter, because Twitter doesn't like squares anymore, apparently.
Okay.
I will make a square version of my thumbnail for Instagram, and I'll put that on Instagram, and I'll change my bio link to the link of the video, and I always put link in bio with my Instagram blurb. I will put it on my website. If it's Awesome with Things, I have every video on my website. I don't do that with All Things YouTube because it's a somewhat different vibe there.
Right.
So I'll do the website post. I'll post to Patreon afterwards. Here's the video. And sometimes I would post to Reddit. You got to get in good with a subreddit that has a crap load of people and the mods are favorable to you. I don't do that very much anymore. And if it's an Awesome Wood Things post, I will create a separate Instructable. There's a website called instructables.com, #not sponsored, where you can learn how to do something step by step, and they allow you to embed a YouTube video. And remember, when you embed a video, all the metrics, the watch time and the clicks count, because it's as if they're watching it on YouTube. They're just on a different website. The actual YouTube video is like on another person's website, but it's the... Anyway, I don't re-upload it. It's the embedded link. And, some people do a story. They'll do a story on Facebook because that's like a separate area.
Right.
Some people will do a community post. I don't do that very often. And the podcast, I'll take the audio of my All Things YouTube shows and create a podcast out of that. And then I edit the MP3 and post that to Amazon S3, and then make a post on my podcast website, and then the post becomes an RSS entry, and then it's published that way. And then I'll make a custom graphic for that episode, where I'll have the episode title and the episode number on the square podcast.
Okay.
And then it's it's everywhere. And do you see how it's not all, like, you are 100% videos, except for your website post. Right. I guess it's more like a thumbnail that turns into a video. But see, I'm graphics. I'm whatever it takes, and even audio. Right. So I'm using multimedia, and very rarely will I promote with a live stream. Sometimes I will, but
right.
It's all about, because I want people to come to my message and be able to absorb what I'm saying quickly. Well, whether that's a custom graphic, maybe it's a thumbnail with the title in the thumbnail and a couple other snippets, they can absorb it all from the image. Or if I do a custom video to promote something, it's 25 seconds, something really fast. Some people edit down 60-second clips of their video. I haven't got to that point where after they create a video, they'll do a little teaser video out of what they've published and say, hey, check out this topic. Ooh, did you like what I said so far? I'll talk about this, this, and this. Go see the whole thing. So, basically, so much more energy is spent on marketing than it is actually making the content, and that's the way you got to play it. Exactly. Just B&E is here in the chat. Hello, or on Facebook, or on YouTube. I watch the YouTube chat, peoples. Yep. I love my Facebook viewers too, but I can't see Facebook during the show. So.
Oh no, I mean, it's just excited just that they had reached out. They just B&E. They had found us through Brenda's sheet of sharing others. So it was pretty cool that they reached out. So So I've been a fan of their YouTube page, a YouTube channel. They do a lot of
Yeah.
great video pottery there. So hey guys, so um, yeah, so with what you're doing between all media, I mean, I know that's a lot of work, but do you out of if you had the ballpark, like how much time do you find yourself doing more on the graphics versus the editing or posting?
If it takes 1 unit of energy to make a video, it takes about 3 units of energy to market it. And that's not to say I cheap out on making videos. I put
Right.
all of my energy into making videos. It's just it's a lot. Did I talk about the email? I did talk about the email blast. I'll do the email. Yeah, I like my email blasts. Yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm trying to put it everywhere that can catch the eyeballs without being obsessive over it. I know some people in the woodwork, David Jones from Portal Woodworks can back me up here. Some people, they'll put it in 15 Facebook groups at the same time. And you're
Right.
scrolling through your feed, and it's nothing but that same person posting the exact same blurb with the exact same thumbnail on
Oh.
15, like literally, like I will scroll 2 pages up on Facebook notifications, and it's
Right.
all the same. I'm like, that's obsessive. I don't do that. I posted in my group, someone else's group, and maybe one, two, always two, maybe 3 groups. That's it. And then
Right.
other people will put it in their group. Steve Nealon, who from Harneal Media, he'll put my video into the Makers Media Network group.
Okay.
Like I don't do it, but he'll put it there. Brenda G will sometimes put it in the Brenda G's Designs group. That's great. Like, it's not coming from me. It's not Matt Haas video. It's kind of broken. Anyway.
No, I mean it's powerful when you have like colleagues and friends that share the video, just because it's like, oh, I should really check that video out there because I know like there's some people that can be a little bit sneaky where they'll go in their personal account, they'll share it, and then they go in their business or the channel and then share it again. Like, well, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to your point with the Brenda and everyone else that's shared video, that's the best way to get the word out when you have other people enjoying your content and put it out there. So,
Can I talk about something else? It's similar to this topic, but
Sarah,
I co-host other shows. I co-host this show with you, Verbose Wednesdays.
Yep.
And I co-host Mind Equals Blown with Brenda G over on her channel. Now, your video production, which is a little bit different than what I do. So the whole point is I can get people from your audience over to me and vice versa. And same thing with Brenda. I started with Brenda when woodworking, but she's crafting. So crafting is similar to woodworking, but not identical. And there was a lot of crossover.
yeah,
So that is
I mean that
a
helps
good tactic.
to have that kind of
collab.
synergy, certainly.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're going out for like a mass general appeal, then it gets a little tricky. I mean, sometimes it's almost like if the people that are watching are coming from different backgrounds, it's almost like it's hard not to like think about like topics that get their attention too. But I mean, to have a base where they have like a common interest, I mean that's even stronger. Because then
I'm big on collab. My brother's going to do a collab. He has a bowling video. I don't talk about him very much. Banner Knowledge Bowling is his YouTube channel, and he's now monetized. He's killing it. His videos, he has far fewer subscribers, but people watch his videos over and over and over again. So his views are way higher than my views over on Awesome Wood Thing. I think my brother has 2,500 subscribers. I have over 7,000. He'll have 5 times more views on his videos because they want to watch him throw the ball, and then they rewind it, and they watch him throw it again, and they rewind. It's a lot of, and then they'll watch it on Monday, and they'll rewatch it on Tuesday. But he's going to do a collaboration with someone from Nevada, and yeah, he's going to get, the Nevada person's going to come over to Banner Knowledge Bowling, and Banner Knowledge Bowling audience is going to go over there. It's going to be great. Yeah.
Now that you mention that he does bowling, I mean, he must have like a heck of videos there that garner that type of a following there.
Oh yeah, well he's an affiliate for Motive, which is a company that makes bowling balls. So they give him all the new bowling balls that come out. He gets it even before they hit the public, and then he'll do a ball review on the bowling ball, because apparently bowling balls can be fast or slow or break, or they have different configurations and different interior cores that make them lope differently and do the geometry is different. So yeah, he's killing it. And he was interviewed on the top 15 podcast in the world out of all genres.
Okay.
Someone interviewed him on that podcast, the Hank Haney podcast. He's a golfer, but he wanted to bring other sports into his podcast, and they interviewed him for like an hour, and he nailed it. He nailed that interview. My brother is a lot like me, so he's very personable. He's very good on camera. He's very articulate. He talks fast, plain English, right to the point. I mean, it was just, he blew away the host of the show. And they were talking about all the similarities there are between those two sports. And you don't think there's very many similarities, but there was, and it was fascinating. And so he got a lot of subscribers from that. Collaborations, baby. They're great.
Oh man, I gotta definitely have to look out for that episode, because I'd be curious to hear what the correlation between bowling and golfing.
Well, they talked about exercise.
Okay.
Steve has a whole playlist on what exercises to do to get better at bowling. Mm-hmm. And then they were talking about the mental processes, because in any sport, if you visualize what you're going to do, you become a better athlete. I don't know if there was one Winter Olympics where there was someone up at the top of the ski ramp that was going to go the downhill on the skis in the snowy mountain, and they were doing this with the eyes closed. And I'm like, what is that person doing? The person was visualizing the course. And Steve has a lot of mental visualization exercises for bowling, and that would apply to any sport. If you want to, even golfing, how you can see how the green's going to break, and so there was a lot. Steve is all into this. He's into the psychology. He's into the athlete part of the sport. He's into the strategy, and he's into the physics. He talks about speed and power and release, and he's got a huge channel filled with premium content, and he's killing it. And I don't know, he was on that podcast, and it just did a lot for him.
I mean, that's in some ways it's pretty mind blowing, because you never think of the two different sports that they would have that type of commonality, and it's almost like to not so much circle back to what we talk about with video marketing, but it's one thing to be able to know how to distribute it. But I mean, if you're able to create like killer content that people get hooked on, I mean, that's the, I was gonna say like it's worth in gold, but I can't remember what the cliche is. But then again, I'm not really good on cliches. But the idea that they have that type of killer content, I mean, is the draw itself. I mean, that's pretty cool.
So I do a lot of marketing. I do a lot of appearances on other people's content, and I do a lot of content. And I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna do more in 2021. You wait. I'm pumping it out now, but this is on slow mode. I'm about to explode. I've got 2 more weeks before this web development project that has been consuming all of my January is going to be over. And man, once that's over, buckle up. Get good, people. Get good, because I'm up in my game. And people that are making content, they're up in their game. You got to up your game in 2021. And then there's even more people entering the space now. YouTube is going up, baby. More users, more channels. That it's not leveling out. It's on the rise. It's getting harder and harder to grab those eyeballs. So you better get good at it.
I just need to keep my eyeballs here.
And you heard it. You heard Portal. He's like, I don't read description. If you don't hook me in the first couple moments, I'm out. He is not alone. He is not alone. Everyone's doing that. There was a professional filmmaker that finally put together, like, the first big internet, direct to internet type thing. And it was, all of his talents, all of his money, all of his investments. And people are like, I'm out. And like, well, he was rolling the credits in the beginning. They're like, we don't want to see that. Get right to it. It's like, well, but this is supposed to be like a formal Hollywood production, but it was for the web. And they're like, no, you spent 4 minutes, introing the cast, like, and then they don't want that. Just get right to the story. And it was an awesome production. He just had fluff in the beginning, and it was, people's attention.
Yeah, I mean, and to your point, I mean, a lot of the approaches that folks do in their marketing, whether it's in Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, I mean, they just go right top heavy with the message or what they wow you with, because to your point, if they can't catch them in the first 2 seconds, I mean, I'll work on the.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I have a 3, 6, 8 rule. If you're not delivering content in 3 seconds, I get mad. If you're not doing it by 6, I get furious. If you go 8 seconds of dead air, I'm off to the next thing. You got 8 seconds maximum. 8.
I was gonna say like 8. Wait a minute. Oh, okay.
I couldn't get my hand around the microphone. It was an obstacle here.
I'm like, that's all the 8 jokes I got.
There you go. There you go. Get the rim shot going.
Oh, I just don't have this.
So yeah, go nuts on the marketing. You've got to. If you're just dumping videos on a platform, hoping your audience will come to you, that you're not doing it right. Not doing it right.
Yep. So that's
I think we hit our topic.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Wrap it up.
yeah, because I was gonna ask like if there were any final thoughts that you had that we didn't touch upon.
Well, my final thought is, if you don't have time to do marketing, you're not playing the game right. I was talking to someone and they were like, oh, I want to use Hootsuite, or there was something similar to Hootsuite, which is you put your content there and it blasts it out everywhere for you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, yeah, go for it. But if you're not going to engage on the platforms you post, that's one ding against you. And then those aggregators don't always enable every feature.
Right.
Like Facebook has the I'm feeling, and then you put in the I'm feeling emoji. Not an emoji in the post itself, but like that thing. Like those Hootsuites, they don't have access to that. Like it's the lowest common denominator of things you can do on a platform that they sort of handle. It's like the text post and then the image, and it's very minimal anyway. So I'm like, yeah, go ahead and do it, but you're trying to shortcut it. I don't shortcut it. I go to every platform separately. I make my, like I told you, I make my square image, I make my 16:9, and then I put them where they need to go. And I don't, and then I enable everything. I do the I'm feeling on Facebook. Now, Twitter doesn't have the I'm feeling thing. And that's just one of all of them have differences. So final thoughts are, get to marketing. You got to market off platform. Do it.
Right. I was just trying to say do it. I'm trying to think of an acronym for that, but or as I kid with just being this is the way. it's kind of like a ongoing joke that we have about that. So, but yeah, I mean, to your point, yeah, I mean, if you're not upping it, it's like,
Doing the same thing in 2021 that you did in 2020 means you're going to slip behind. Doing the same isn't going to produce the same amount of results. You've got to do more to do the same, and you got to do a lot more to get ahead. Yeah, this is the way, says Just Peony. Yes.
I had to do it.
Any final thoughts from your end?
No, I mean, it's just that it's just very exciting that I mean, it's a crowded landscape, and the key is, like you say, is just finding ways to get the eyeballs, and the best way to do it is just, again, just being very smart in how you market, as well as just being able to create great content for it, and then just imagine just being really smart about how you get it out there.
Great content and bust your butt marketing. You
You
can have
for cleaning up the way.
mediocre content. You can bring a lot of eyeballs to mediocre content. That's not going to work. You need to have great content, and you got to do marketing like crazy. So there you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Or as the best way to put it, this is the way. On that note, just to thank everyone for coming out and watching us live. We'll do it again next. What do I say? We'll do it again next Wednesday on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, 6:30 p.m. right here on the YouTubes and the Facebooks. I forget how you would phrase it, Matt, but
You know, I change it up. I like YouTubes and Facebooks. That's a fun way to say it. Sometimes I say interwebs. That's kind of fun. Find me on the interwebs.
yeah, I'm out there on the online thingamaboard platform. You'll find us.
Or my favorite, I'm on the line. You put the word the in between. I'm on the line. I posted my photo on the line.
All right, that one I haven't heard, so you got me there.
Yeah.
Well, all right. If I don't cut the cord soon, we're gonna be out here trying to one up on the what's the best way to kind of that kind of thing. So, on that note, yeah, already we're kind of in that.
Robert needs to reboot.
Yeah, my brother does a great a dazed look. The most I can do is more like this.
Okay.
That's more like my frozen zoom look, where if you're trying to get out of a call, and if I hold the position, like they're like, "Hey Rob, are you still there, Rob?" And you're like, and then like, so.
I saw this funny Facebook post where a guy filmed himself just in front of the camera, you know, just like he's paying attention, and he plays the video in place of his camera, and he hasn't attended a meeting in 2 months at work.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I don't know if it was BuzzFeed or something like that. Like the video editor did that, where he would just edit videos of himself in front of the camera, and just use that. And oh man,
Genius.
if I could find a link, I'll share that with you. But it was funny. But you just know that now that it's out there, either he's got to be very smart on how he does that, or just
Yeah, I thought that was funny. All right. Guess we'll see you next week.
I couldn't help but throw that up there. I'll work on
this
on my
face. Not that face.
and it's not this one either. So.
No, not that one.
All right, folks. Wait. I got it. Sorry, folks. I'm still working my fingers. He's been Matt. I've been Rob. You've been watching Roast Wednesday. Dang it. Maybe next week I'll get it right.
It's harder than
folks.
it looks, folks. It's harder than it looks.
Oh, I got it. Wait. Before we go, do you still have yours?
Yeah.
All right. One more for the road.
Are you starting it?
I thought you're starting it.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
I'm passing it to you.
I stink. Oh, wait. I meant... Whoop, I got it.
Excellent.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe. Be well.
Later.
Or was it later, Gator?
After a while, crocodile.
Oh, wrong one.
Bye, everyone.